Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our final day in this Small Business and Nonprofit Conference. My name is Eleanor. I'm a librarian at the St. Louis Public Library, and I'm delighted that you've chosen to join us for You Have a Great Idea, Now What? Our presenter today is Michael Hanrahan. He has over 25 years of sales experience, and he's going to talk to us about communication tips and how to sell your story. So over to you, Mike.
Great. Thank you, Eleanor, and welcome, everybody. Let's see how many participants we have about 15 participants, attendees. First off, at any point, if anyone has a question, feel free to stop me. Glad to answer any questions. So to tell you a little bit about myself, as Eleanor had said, I've got over 25 years sales experience, but I am always looking to improve my speaking skills. And when you think about, I know Mark did a presentation yesterday. The title of the presentation is You Have a Great Idea, Now What? So you think of as you're exploring your business idea, sharing about your business, the biggest thing about it is communication. And so let me advance. So I want to hit on three things and then, a call to action. And Mark hit on these things yesterday as well. But the biggest thing, and along the lines of communication, is be ebullient, create a positioning statement, create a general benefit statement. And you think about as you're promoting your business, you are the biggest promoter of your business. So communication skills and being able to articulate your business, what you're trying to accomplish, how you're going to help people. The other thing, the word ebullient means always be cheerful and full of energy. So infect other people infect your prospects and investors with your enthusiasm about your business idea and what your the outcomes that you're looking to give to your customers. Create a positioning statement. Now, a lot of these things, you already know this as you built your business, creating a positioning statement. What is your mission? How are you changing the world? Share your business plan. It's all about promoting yourself and your idea in your business. Communication skills are going to be key in doing that. Then you also have a general benefit statement. What would customers get from your service or product? Think about, and you've been doing this already, I'm sure, how you're articulating that. Who are you targeting? Who are you talking to get that message delivered? And then what outcomes do your customers get? How does it make them feel, or what positive action do they get by buying or using your service? So when it comes to communication, you think of our group. We're the Midtown Toastmasters Club, and we have a lot of people that have joined our club trying to improve how they do public speaking. And there's different scenarios. There's different people out there that are, maybe they're trying to improve public speaking for a speech that they're giving. And you think about your business and how you're promoting yourself, that you constantly want to look at how can you do it better? How can you get the message across better and better each time you talk? Each time you talk as well and speak about your business, you're going to be speaking even more proficiently and getting the message across. When we think of a call to action, it's really, you want to speak as much as you can. You want to get out and share your product, talk to and network with others. Networking is one of the biggest things, as you've experienced with this trade show, meeting different people, get the word out about what your product is, who you are. Think about joining a networking group. a Chamber of Commerce, Business Network International, BNI groups. Is anyone familiar with a BNI group? Can we have a raise of hands? Okay. Oh, a couple of people. Okay, great. Excellent. Now, BNI groups and things like that give you an opportunity, and what happens in a lot of those is you can join as a guest. And when you come as a guest, you'll have the opportunity to talk a little bit about your business. You want to have some sort of a tagline or something that grabs the attention of the audience. It could be a situation that you help solve with your particular product or your business. And then you also will give you an opportunity to let people know what your target audience is. Think of people out there as a Google search engine for your business. When you're talking to a group of people or an individual at a chamber event, maybe it's a luncheon, you want to try to share what is your ideal customer that you're trying to reach. Maybe there's some organizations or there's certain groups that you're trying to get into. Does anyone know anyone in that organization? Can they help you with that? And then, of course, the element of networking. And like I said, speak as much as you can. Talk anywhere and everywhere you can about your product and your business and what you're trying to do. The more practice you have with articulating your message, sharing your story, sharing your product, you're just going to get good at it. As I've been in sales for 25 plus years, even if you've been doing this for a long time, you still want to think about your journey and how you can improve your speaking skills. You think someone that's been in sales or been in the business world for many, many years, it's very easy to speak to others and to get up and give a presentation. But there's times where you maybe don't know the content as well, or you're still learning about the content with the new product you're launching. You want to get into the habit of doing that as much as possible. When you think of Toastmasters, what that does, I had joined that about 2 years ago, and instantly you're speaking, you're joining as a guest. You're given the opportunity to talk, introduce yourself. You're given the opportunity we do something called Table Topics, which Table Topics is kind of an on the fly where you get to talk about, do you like baseball or do you like football, things like that. But it gives you that opportunity to really improve your skills. So you'll have situations where it might be spur of the moment, where someone's asking you about something, or you have to get up in front of a crowd and speak to a group about your product. Very, very valuable in a group like that. We also, giving a further plug to Toastmasters, we also have a whole curriculum, and the curriculum goes into different types of speeches. So maybe a different would be a visual aid. Maybe you're doing a PowerPoint presentation or a video presentation. It goes into different types of articulating of your tone and things like that. So there's also some curriculum with that can really help master your communication skills. Now, I did want to take some questions. Does anyone have some questions that we could answer? Talk through maybe some scenarios or examples of when you've been presenting yourself or your business. I think you can probably unmute anyone, or is anyone out there?
Yeah. I was going to say, if you don't want to talk, you can in the Q&A and I'll make sure it gets heard. But if you want to, just raise your hand. I think that's how we have to do it. I can allow your microphone.
Okay, any at this point? Now, what percentage of our group is, if you could raise your hand, let me look at the participants, of those that are with a small business startup that's a for-profit? Okay, so we got a few in there. Would you like to share what your business is, any of those folks? Okay, and then what out of the group of nonprofit, how many folks do we have that are in the nonprofit business? So I see 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Great. And the nonprofit, as you know, as you're growing and you're seeking folks to, donate or help out your business, sometimes it feels like it is a for-profit business with the activities that you have and things like that. Are there any other questions that anyone has? Eleanor, that was pretty much it. Just those three slides that I have for today. Any other questions or topics that we'd like to cover?
I don't know, we'll leave it open to our attendees. Does anyone have any questions or like to talk?
Anyone that has, maybe share a little bit about your business if someone's willing to do that.
Sure. Hey, Becky, I see you raised your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
I missed the first few minutes. Can you speak somewhat about what it involves to get involved with our local Toastmasters? I'm not part of any organization that has their own Toastmasters. So if you could say something about joining yours, are there fees?
Yeah, so you can join as a guest for a few of the meetings. We meet on the first Friday of every month and the third Friday of every month over at the center of Clayton. In Clayton, it's kind of the rec center in the middle of Clayton, or on the west side of Clayton. And it's the first and third Friday of the month. We meet for an hour and a half, and you're welcome to join. Now, there are enrollment fees or dues that if you decide to become a member, that are around $70 for every 6 months. And with that, you get, some folks that are with a business or an organization can fund that. But you also get all the curriculum, you get the pathway learnings and things like that. And you join as a guest. So you join as one of our guests, and I can gather your email and put you on our list. And, you join and we give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. And then we also have you participate. So we have you participate as typically in the table topics, which is a fun thing to do, which is today our theme was fall. So we talked about, what are your favorite things of fall? And you have 2 minutes to respond. But that's how you would join, is through, we have a membership, VP of membership in our organization that would help you apply and everything. But you're welcome. Anyone is welcome to join as a guest. Now, the first Friday of the month is on Zoom. The third Friday of the month is in person. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. So how do I send you my email?
You can just put it in the chat. That would be great. You can just put it in the chat, and Eleanor, you're recording this. We can gather that. What business are you in, Becky, or what organization are you?
Yeah, I'm in working with a nonprofit. In fact, we're not even like a registered, so it's more informal.
Okay.
And yeah, it's I have to promote, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And here we go. So it's actually an organization that works with schools, and we do a Black Lives Matter vigil.
Okay.
So that's a topic that has controversy. But we stand on the corner every Saturday and have done it since Michael Brown's death.
Mm,
So
okay.
yeah, it's been good, and I want to speak more, and especially to school groups
Yeah.
that are interested. So it would be, groups that are already formed,
Yeah, that's great.
and
Yeah,
then promote it that way. So
yeah,
it's
and you can.
cool.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Have you and you're just getting it going, it sounds like. Is that
Well,
right?
we've had these vigils, but in terms of speaking out about encouraging people to understand what we're doing on the street corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have the speaking skills, and I really want to develop skills.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would use them in this as well as other speaking. So yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you'll develop, and everyone has this, I'm sure, in elevator speech. So it's kind of that 2-minute speech where you get an opportunity to talk about what you're doing, and why would someone want to join your group or work with you, and there's some value that you have that you could bring to the table.
That's a good thought. And I mean, that's what I hope from Toastmasters.
Yeah.
You would help me develop an elevator speech, and
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And you want to have some of those things kind of in your back pocket so they're ready to go. I recently was out in Las Vegas at a trade show for the grocery business. And there was 10,000 people there, but we had people come through our booth like from Walmart and Kroger, and they're the CIO, one of the top officers of the company. And I had about 30 seconds to explain what I do. I'm in the cellular mobile business with one of the carriers, T-Mobile, and I had about 30 seconds to share my elevator pitch. And so you'll get in situations like that where you may not have a lot of time, and you want to have that ready to go in your back pocket, and something that you can say, we could help you with that. Would you like me to follow up, or, be able to get interest from them, or, so to speak, get them on the hook, if you want to use that term.
Right. Give the positive parts of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It would call people in versus call people out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And some people, it may not be a fit for a certain product, but they may know someone. So that's something I always think of, if the other folks on the call, you think of the product that you have or the organization, you may find people that will say no, or I'm not interested at this time, but they may know someone. So that becomes an opportunity where you could say, well, thank you for your input. And do you know anyone? And maybe they know someone off the top of their head. Again, you may not have a lot of time, but you definitely want to have that in your back pocket, that elevator pitch. Yeah. Anyone else that would like to share their business, or just maybe a success story of their business, or questions they may have?
And while you're thinking about that, there were a couple that just got put into the Q&A. Jennifer was wondering, if you have children, can they come with you to the Toastmasters meeting? And if you could, again, remind people what time you meet and how often is that $70?
Yeah, so the $70 is every 6 months. Let me see if I can get my camera working here too. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the dues are every 6 months. And when it comes to children under 18, there is a group for teenagers that was started for public speaking. So whoever is interested in that, I can connect them with the organization that's running that. And they do have an organization, because I do get some inquiries every once in a while of people saying, I've got a teenager, they're doing all the, certain types of activities, and I want them to get better at speaking in public. So if you just reach out to me, I can get you in touch with that individual that handles the under 18. I think it's like 13 or maybe 8th grade to high school, somewhere around there. Anyone else that would like to share a success story or question or idea that they have? Was there a couple questions in there, Eleanor, or just that one?
It was the combination of time and the dues and about the children, all of those. There were two of those.
Yeah, and then the time, just to answer that question. Sorry I didn't answer that one. We meet at 7:15 to 8:30 in the morning every week, and we usually encourage people to join at 7. So we have about 15 minutes of some networking time. So you can meet the other folks in the group and, introduce yourself and get to, talk to a few people, and then we kick it off promptly at 7:15. The format of our meetings, which this is really nice to know, is that we have 3 speakers. So you have 3 individuals that have an opportunity to give a 5 to 7 minute speech. And then we have 3 evaluators. So you get evaluated as well. And the evaluation is not a harsh criticism. It's really just some ideas and things to give you some improvements on what you're doing. Maybe it's people will say, don't stand at the podium, walk around a little bit, things like that. The other thing that's nice with having an opportunity to speak and get on the agenda is, let's say you have, we had a gentleman in our group that was presenting to the Chamber of Commerce, and he wanted an opportunity to test out his speech. And so what he did was he did it on our group. So he got to share his speech and kind of, get a feel for how it would go. And so it gives you opportunities for that as well. And you can take it to, if you want to become a national speaker and get into contests and things like that, you can go all the way. There's 16,000 chapters of Toastmasters International. Our club is number 283. So we will celebrate our 80th year as a club next year. So it's a very popular group, just the whole facet. People all over the world are in Toastmasters. Another thing I do want to mention, BNI. Has anyone been in a BNI before? Okay. BNI is, there's different chapters of BNI. It's Business Network International. What's neat about that is when you're a member of that, people are expected to bring leads to the table. So if, I was in a group where someone did painting, house painting, and they would get 2 or 3 leads every week that they met. So it's really a good way to jumpstart your business and get out there. And then you can build all sorts of relationships. You can visit other BNI groups, things like that. So that's another really good organization. Do we have another question that maybe popped up?
Let me take a look. This was with whether small children are allowed to accompany their parents. So maybe not teenagers who are looking to build their own skills.
So small children to join? That's a question.
I think just to bring them along with them, instead of having to go through the hassle of finding childcare. What's the stance on it?
I would say the best thing for that would be to do the remote session, to join the remote session. That way you can do it from home. The in-person session, that probably would be a little difficult. We also have some requirements with the rental of the room. that, we would, as to who would be attending and things like that. I would recommend doing the Zoom session for that. Definitely. Is there anyone else that has any, like I said, any other questions or share maybe their business? So I could be a way to network for you. Is there anyone out there that's trying to reach a certain business or trying to find a certain type of company to do business with that would like to share?
Yeah. All right, Lisa, I have got here you are on.
I was going to say I was wanting to do a youth shelter.
Okay. A youth shelter?
Yes.
Okay. And how would you envision that? What would be your idea with would you envision, or what would be your kind of your mission with that you could share with the group?
Just kind of to I know if adults have a hard time with homelessness, I can only imagine what it's like for a young person. So just kind of someone to help steer me into where I would need to go about getting that squared away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a great thing to have. And have you started the process of building that, or it's an idea at this point?
I did brainstorming right now. Yeah.
Okay, great. I mean, that's exciting. I'm not aware of how many there are out there, but we can get your email. I can just communicate with you. Glad to help you out wherever I can.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anyone else that is looking for an ideal client profile, or trying to get in certain types of businesses that needs a little advice or input? Okay.
So we did have a question about what is the difference between the in-person and the Zoom sessions? Are they about the same, just different formats, or is there any different information or anything?
That's a great question. They're pretty much the same. The only difference is, and this is kind of fun, we do vote on the best speaker. We do vote on the best evaluator of the meeting. So you get to evaluate. There's 3 evaluators, and then we vote on the best table topics person. So the only, when we're on Zoom, we use a poll to do that. When we're in person, we actually put in little votes and kind of go around the table and collect those votes. But that is really a nice thing, because I won one of those ribbons as the best speaker, and I put it up on my my refrigerator. So you think it may not be a big thing, but actually really is something that can help boost your confidence with your speaking skills. Let's see, do we have some other questions? Okay, so we have someone looking to opening an event space for crafts. Okay, and is that Jan? Jan, would you like to take a moment to talk about your business with the group?
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm actually Jennifer's mom.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to do is open up an event space where people who do crafts can come and sell their crafts.
Okay. And have you have you started this so far, or?
I actually have a t-shirt business that I've started.
Okay, great. So how are you getting the word out now with that?
I have just started. So basically I just retired in December of last year. So basically it was just me working and just, selling those at work. But now that I've retired, no, nothing.
That's great. Okay, so you were selling them at work, so you had some people to share that with, and now you're kind of looking for a venue to put that in
Yes,
place. Okay.
yes.
Well, I think the key thing there is get the word out, like, the three key points, what
Mhm.
and call to action. Just try to get it out, what you're trying to do and what you're looking for. You may
Okay,
find space that you can get for free, or maybe you can tag on to a cafe, coffee shop, something like that.
okay.
Um, but with your business, a great opportunity to share about your business is one of these networking groups.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
a chamber of commerce is another way. Now, you may or may not want to join the chamber of commerce. Typically, there's an annual cost for that, but there's some sort of small cost with some of these. And then, of course, just
Mhm.
through other organizations. Maybe it's your church or it's through some other organization. There are no costs, so you can get out and talk about. And then I would just kind of think of what is your mission statement. Think of
Okay.
back to the positioning statement, general benefit. What are you trying to accomplish, or what is the outcome that when someone buys your shirt that they get from that? Is it helping out other people with the proceeds, or um, what is it doing? Because that'll get people excited as well.
Mhm.
That's great.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. What else? Anyone else that's interested in sharing what they're doing, or some questions?
Michael, I was wondering if you wanted to throw your email into the chat so attendees could have that.
Yeah.
They're sending us theirs,
Yes.
and then I'll be able to make sure that you get those.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Um, And then as folks are sharing about their business as well, there's SCORE. Eleanor, have you engaged SCORE for the conference, or are they?
They were not part of the conference. They are definitely a group that I refer people to when they need a business mentor.
Yeah, those folks are great. My uncle did that for a while. I know some other people, and that's a society of retired executives, maybe, or entrepreneurs. Um,
Yep.
they can help you with building the business plan, and I think that it's all free. There's no cost involved with it. So that's a great resource. But yeah, anyone who has any questions or wants to try to make some connections, feel free to email me. um, I think the biggest thing in communication is really getting down, what is that positioning statement? How is it going to help? What are people going to get out of your service? And then just spreading the word. Get out there as much as you can, and the more you speak often and in public and things like that, you'll just get better at it.
We have a question here. Do you have any suggestions for networking on social media?
So networking on social media, definitely there's a big marketplace for that. In with Facebook and Instagram, for instance, my daughter she reviews books and is a big reader, so you can do Instagram, um, or Facebook. Twitter, I'm not sure how well that works. And then you can create. You think about articulating a message. You can create videos. TikTok, I think, is another one. And you want to make sure it's all professional, of course, and hits on your message. But you can definitely share. I know things like TikTok. A lot of people are very visual, so they'd rather see something than read something. So that could be an angle. And then if you're in the business related, you want to get on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is, I'll type it in the chat here. LinkedIn is a business networking site. and you can connect to all sorts of people. You can advertise your business. That is a great tool as well. So yeah, I think social media and those types of things definitely, if you can get that doing the work for you, then you're getting the word out even more and more. Definitely.
And while I'm thinking about it, my colleague popped a link to a survey in the chat. I'm going to put it in again there so it's fresh. And if you fill out the survey, you'll be entered to win a gift certificate to a local business. And we would love to hear what you thought about the conference and this session and the whole conference. So I'm just doing that while I remember.
Yeah, and I'll stop the sharing because I know we're getting towards the end here. Did that stop the sharing properly?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Think about just the call to action. Think about the 3 components of, that we walk through, and anyone that's in a business, you're going to have a passion for it, and just spread the word and share the passion you have for what you're doing. And that'll help you grow your business for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. It was a pleasure meeting with you this afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and for everyone who participated here. That was great to see. Have a great rest of your day.
Excellent. Thank you. Everyone have a great day.